Hello, everybody. Welcome to Brain Tunes with Archana in collaboration with Radio Brain Drive. Today, I welcome all of you yet again in another episode of Brain Dancing Bites with Dilip Mukherjee, sir. And we have Mr. Jitendranath Mahato with us on our show. Welcome, Mr. Mahato.
Thank you, Archana Madhusudan, for inviting me once again for Brain Tunes with Archana.
I hope you really enjoying Brain Dancing Bites by Dilip Mukherjee, sir.
Yeah, the articles are exceptional. I am learning a lot with his articles. This guy has a deep meaning in the words, what articles and the words, each word has its own meaning. So I will suggest people to read his articles, you will come to know there is a deep meaning hidden there.
Right, and I would like to add that now this is not only helpful to people from a personal perspective, but also for organizations who can bring a sea change in their employees and their working styles when actually employed by taking in the lessons from these articles. What do you say, Mr. Mahato?
Yes. So like we had some employee happiness, we had one of the episode. If your employee is happy, the outcome will be happy. It is said that people leave managers, not the companies, because if the person is not happy to go to job or start working, his output, although he might be skilled and talented, he cannot give a right product to you, right services to the client. So that is why it is said that keep your employees happy, they will serve the clients.
Exactly. So let us go into today's discussion, Mr. Mahato, without much ado, and see what Dilip Mukherjee sir has to give to us in today's episode. Okay. So audience, let me introduce you to Dilip Mukherjee sir. Dilip Mukherjee sir is the CEO at Brain Dancing International. He is a world-renowned author, a presidential award winner, and a person who has been taking giant strides in changing or bringing in newer methodologies of teaching and learning so that they're conducive to today's environment. We cannot have 19th century teaching and parenting practices for the 21st century children. So we go ahead in today's discussion. Lessons from the Japanese tea ceremony, Wabi Sabi and Sha no Yu. Have you heard of this, Mr. Mahato?
I have read it long back, but not exactly I remember. But Wabi Sabi, I have read it somewhere, some articles long back, but I don't exactly remember it. But something, the tea ceremony I remember, and Wabi Sabi only I remember. So when I read this article, it reminded me some of the things I have read it. So let's go into move into the article.
So in this article, Mr. Dilip Mukherjee tries to emphasize on trying to focus on the little joys of life rather than running behind the materialistic world and being unhappy all the time, in spite of working day and night, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So all the time we are on the job. In spite of that, there is no happiness or satisfaction. That is because we are focusing on the material things in life rather than understanding that everything is transient in nature. One day, everything has to perish, be it ourselves, the human beings around us, what we possess, or what we are running behind. Nothing is going to stay forever. So we need to realize this aspect of life and try to slow down, enjoy life as it comes, and the smaller things in life around us, even if they're imperfect, because nobody is perfect. Enjoy the imperfections and see how life changes. What do you think, Mr. Mahato?
Okay, so the problem here I see is that earlier when people were there were not enough jobs. But when a kid is brought up in a family, you see that parents always try to compare with the other kids. They say he's doing that. He got into this institute and that, and he got into that school. the small kids are saying, you are not studying. So the problem is the mind of the kids are prepared. Mind of the kid is like a clay, or like the potter prepares it. Their mind is sort of inputs are given as if you are worthless if you're not doing this. So that thinking has brought us to this stage. So when that thinking is developed, you did not get into this school, that college, this company, and this position in the society, this. So people think that that is the only purpose of life. So the upbringing of the children, all those things should start from the beginning of the, when the child is being nourished from the beginning. You need to have apart from other nourishment, you should give a mental nourishment as well. That whatever you are capable of, you do it. Many parents, due to some parenting coachings, are able to understand that my kid cannot be an engineer. So they're accepting that my kid can be a very good journalist. So that thinking should come up to avoid this. So we are looking into, we don't look into the, get your kid into some degrees and they are not performing. We just discourage that person instead of encouraging it. So we need to encourage people. Author says that we need to encourage people, all the imperfection in your life, to bring an harmony. And that is the reason for unhappiness and running after materialistic thing in today's world.
Right. So like the author says, developed out of the aesthetic philosophy of Sha no Yu, that is the tea ceremony, which is a 15th century ceremony in Japan. Wabi Sabi is an aesthetic that finds beauty in things imperfect, impermanent, and incomplete. So we need to realize that, yes, as human beings, we fit into these parameters: imperfection, impermanence, and incompleteness. There is no point in trying, like you said, Mr. Mahato, every person has some good attributes and some not so good attributes. But if we are not able to understand that this is an integral part of life and try, come what may, to gain that level of perfection, we are only putting ourselves through turmoil. That doesn't mean give up on it, but then we need to realize our own limitations, because as human beings, we do have limitations to our own selves. So this particular term, wabi, Japanese word, translates to less is more, and sabi means attentive melancholy. So wabi-sabi refers to an awareness of the transient nature of earthly things and a corresponding pleasure in the things that bear the mark of this impermanence. So when we fully well know the nature around us is clearly indicating that what is now or what lives has to die or perish. The nature is clearly giving us these signals. Why don't we understand that and try to live in the moment, enjoy what is present, rather than struggling for what should be, what will be. Like the saying goes, the past cannot be brought back. The future, we don't know what will happen. So live in the present, appreciate anything and everything that you have wholeheartedly. That is what will make life a more pleasant place to live in.
Okay, so author has gone back to 15th century here. He has brought up a philosophy, Cha no Yu, the tea ceremony, which India, we also follow that. So 15th century, people used to have that concept that philosophy says, even if the environment is imperfect or it is temporary or incomplete, still you need to appreciate the beauty of that. When you have a tea ceremony, if I remember that when we were in a joint family, so evening there was a tea time. So when the ladies of the tea prepares the tea and snacks, all kids used to run, and then the elders of the family, they sit together, then have the tea together and chit chat, and they like it. They don't see whether the tea is prepared well or not. They appreciate the imperfection among us, and created a harmonious environment, and people are happy. Today, in this apart from joint family, now we have the nuclear family has come up. In nuclear family, you don't have time. We are running, as you said, we are running after the materialistic thing. I already stated how the child is made up to go for success. You define success. Any kid is defined how much he earns, we define that. But how much he happy, when you meet a person, you don't ask how much you are happy. You just ask, Archana, where are you working and how much you are getting. So that mindset needs to be brought down, and we need to ask now, hi Archana, how are you doing? How happy are you? How life is treating you? That should be the way of greeting. So the tea ceremony in 15th century, the author has brought, seeing the current scenario. So less is more, sabi alternate melancholy. So again, even if it is, you have less things, you should appreciate that. You find the, again, imperfection, you should, generally problem is there, we tend to be perfectionist. And our journey of perfectionist is never happy, because we cannot be perfect. Even the God is not fully perfect. So God says that whatever you have, appreciate that. Whatever you have around your family members, appreciate their imperfection and move on. You will be the happy person. Nobody is complete in all senses. And here it says that Sabi begs us to appreciate the pure beauty of life. Here it says that you need to appreciate the beauty of life. You need to be aware of the perfection in imperfection, and you need to be very much be happy with that, because we are into an very fast moving rat race, and Sabi reminds us the slow and down. Okay. So here it reminds me, when we go for outing somewhere, we sit there, and if it's a rainy season, we sit there and we have a sip of coffee or tea. We like it so much. So why don't we create that environment at home? All the family members sit together and have some pakoras or tea, coffee, and appreciate each other. If somebody has cooked well something, you appreciate that. We don't do that. If somebody has achieved something, celebrate together as a family. We are not doing it. Or we just try to find the fault in that somebody has achieved something. We find a fault that you could have achieved that, instead of appreciating what he has achieved. So the idea behind bringing this topic is, we need to create an harmonious environment in today's environment in our family members. Instead of running after the materialistic things, we need to appreciate among us, sit together, appreciate your spouse, your children, your neighbors, anything they do good, tell them. Instead, generally what happens, if somebody achieves something, Archana achieves something, the neighbors are not happy. See, in 3 Idiots also it is said that if your friend fails, we are unhappy. But if your friend fails, we are more unhappy. Your friend comes first, we are more unhappy. That's the philosophy of life. If Archana succeeds something, the neighbors maybe say, Archana, you have done good, but internally they are not happy, and they are they have a lot of negativities in their life. So you need to bring the positivities in your life, appreciate the people around you, and live a purposeful life.
Right. So in short, Mr. Mahato, happiness should not be confined to a vacation or a specific time period. You need to enjoy anything and everything that you have, even if it is imperfect, because that is the truth of life. Life itself is imperfect. If you look at nature, nature is perfect with all its imperfections. Look at the jagged rocks and mountains. Are they perfect? No, but the beauty is spellbinding. Similarly, the rough rivers when in a storm, scary, but has a beauty of its own. It is not always smooth flowing and having a very calm, serene aura. We need to see those imperfections and understand that everything is an integral part of life. think that is what the author tries to say when he says, Wabi Sabi reminds us to slow down and take comfort in the natural beauty around us, rather than vying for more and more materialistic things. We are never happy, Mr. Mehato. I buy a mobile phone which is of the latest make. Next month is outdated, and I again strive as to no, I want the newer version. So this is not going to happen. Things will keep coming. But then, like say mobile itself, which was in fashion, in demand a month ago, has no views, no reviews in a month. So we need to understand the impermanence in things and nature. So as we go further, Mr. Mehato, Mr. Mukherjee says the phrase "wa ki si jaku" lines up characters for harmony, respect, cleanliness, and tranquility. So these are the four aspects which we need to pay attention to, not only within as a person. We need to be in harmony, in sync, the body, mind, and soul. Have respect for oneself, people around you, cleanliness, inside and outside. Declutter your mind and brain. Like you said, appreciation for somebody's success is only lip service, whereas the heart is burning with jealousy as to, God, how is this person doing so well? So cleanse yourself of all of that ill will, and then you attain that phase of tranquility. So it is essential. This is an essential nature of the tea ceremony. So the author points out how it is very quaintly done as to the people who visit this tea house in Japan, as a ceremony for this, which started in the 15th century and is still popular. They wash their hands. They also rinse their mouth as a symbol of cleaning everything. So this cleansing has to be inward and outward, and that is what the ceremony is all about. Even we have certain quaint traditions in India, which, like you said, as a joint family setup, we follow religiously. But as the family is divided into nuclear families and now single parent or single person families, which is very tragic to hear, all of these traditions are left out. People are hardly bothered about anything, right? It is all fast food, and even the teas. I don't know, there are so many varieties of teas coming up, cold tea, cold coffee. And where is the tradition? You just grab something off the shelf and do it. And that is just to revive yourself from a hectic day. So where is this tradition of sitting together, enjoying a cup of tea, sharing stories, understanding each other's pains, troubles, and giving a shoulder to someone who actually needs it? This has all vanished. So the author emphasizes on bringing back these quaint traditions, not necessarily go and bring in the wabi sabi in your house. No, may not happen, but every family has its own traditions to follow. And bringing these back is really going to make a world of difference to each and every member of the family. Your views, Mr. Mahendra?
Okay, like you said that your mobile is, the new version of your mobile has come up. So similarly, here again comes the contentment. We need to be content with what we have. It. The main problem is in the materialistic world, we are never content. We want more and more. As again, I want to state, Buddha said, desire and selfishness are the main cause of unhappiness in the world. So God only doesn't give you what you desire. God only gives you what you deserve. This truth, naked truth, you need to accept it. The day you accept it, God has given you what you deserve. You lead a very, or the author says that wa ke sei jaku. You will have a harmonious life. You will have a respectful life. You respect each other. You have a mutual respect among your family members and your friends and your social circles. And you will have a clean mind. Cleanliness doesn't mean that you clean the utensils every day or your house every day. Your mind also needs to be cleaned every day. Declutter, what you said, that take out all the unnecessary thing, flush your mind every like you do a flush, you flush your mind of the, and that tranquility, peaceful will come, peacefulness will come. So generally what happens, I'll describe this earlier, or life was like a rough ball. It was very solid inside. We had a lot of matter. We had values inside. Every family had their own value system. Every traditions or the group clan had their own value system. Slowly, with the materialistic one, that value has gone down. By looking at each other and competing, that we try to paint the balls. So painting the ball, what happens? We try to show up that we are better, and our value system slowly started disappearing. And that is the main cause of unhappiness in the world. Going, going back to the tradition, 15th century, the tea ceremony started. 16th century again. Any practice, any rules has to make some rules. The dictator of 16th century in Japan, Toyotomi Hideyoshi, has brought up this rule that we'll have a tea ceremony where people will go in harmonious. They will clean their hands. They will meditate and clean their mind. They go together and create an environment of harmony, respect, mutual respect, cleanliness, and tranquility. So you need to have this environment created by having a tea ceremony. So again, we are going back to our family system. So we need to have this in our, either you have a lunch together or a dinner together or a snacks or anyone, you need to have a together, you need to sit together and have a harmonious environment to lead a peaceful life.
Right. So when the author talks about Wabi Sham, which roughly, which roughly translates to simplicity, quietude, and absence of ornament, he means to say that you need not have all the pompous glitter and glaze around you. Peaceful, calm, serene, simple, quiet, outside and inside, and no necessary outward decoration will actually give us that sense of satisfaction. He also talks about harmony between the guests, the 4 qualities which we need to adopt. Harmony between the guests and the implements used. So it is not only respecting people, but also the things that you use. So if you're aware of this, Mr. Mahato, we in the Indian tradition, especially in the South India, we follow this. Even the container which holds water is worshipped because that is life-giving, right? That is worship. So you need to show respect to these. And I don't know if you have read about this water experiment, which clearly indicates that water also has a character of its own. And the way you treat it, it treats you. Because human body is 70% water. If you don't treat water well, it is not going to treat you well when it goes in. So treat water with respect. The same way, the Japanese tradition, they have this wabi-sabi. So the author talks about harmony between the guests and the implements used, respect, not only among participants, but also the utensils. Cleanliness, derived from the Shinto practice, and requires participants to cleanse themselves physically as well as mentally. And tranquility, which is imparted through a long and caring use of each article of the tea ceremony. Now, Mr. Mahato, we do have certain attachments to certain things, isn't it? So I have my own tea cup. I would like, or I enjoy tea the most when served in that cup. Even if you give me tea in a golden cup, I may not enjoy it so much as that one cup which I am attached to. So we get attached to certain things, but we also need to understand that these are all perishable, and we need to understand the transient nature of everything. As we go ahead, Mr. Mahato, Sir talks about the symbols. He gives a pictorial representation of Wa or harmony, Ki or respect, Si, purity, and the final part, Jaku. So Wa is harmony in everything, harmony among each other, harmony in body, mind, and soul, harmony with things also. Ki respect everybody and everything. C, purity, a perfect sync in things, like the hand clearly depicts. Day and night, sun and moon, dark and light, different natures, but integral. We need to have all of these in proper measures in order to have. So if there is, every cloud has a silver lining, is what a proverb says. That is, if there is sorrow, there will also be happiness. Life is like the cycle of the cycle of life just goes on. Happiness, sorrow, happiness, sorrow. So you just cannot have one thing in life. You need to take everything with a pinch of salt. Don't get super excited in happiness, nor fall down the doldrums in sorrow. Take everything with a pinch of salt, because nothing is permanent. Everything keeps repeating. Happiness doesn't remain forever, neither does sorrow. After day, there is night. After darkness, there is light. And only when we achieve all of this, we come to the final part of Jaku, or tranquility, a complete peace of mind where we experience the sublime feelings of having achieved that stage and calmness of mind where nothing can disturb us. Your views, Mr. Mahendra.
Okay. As you said that there is a tradition of in South India. Similarly, everywhere there most of the places they have their own. When a guest comes, you give a vessel of water to wash his hands or feet. So that's a tradition still followed. If you go to the countryside, you find it. Although we don't have it. If you went for playing in the evening, if you come back, you have heard your mother saying that wash your hands and feet, then you enter the house. So that is also a practice was followed earlier, which we don't see nowadays. And sometimes parents used to, if you play the whole day, they used to take bath, then you enter the house. So those traditions have come because of everywhere there is some tradition. So to bring up your purity in life, and when you are pure, you can create this harmony and respect. You respect each other. So, and in the countryside, you used to get the vessels prepared, although this is not colored or decorative, but still you said that you like your cup. So when whatever cup you get it, you are attached to it. When you have some attachment, this four quality comes in picture. So you need to have after that, there is a purity. When you follow all those things, you have a purity of mind. See, I'll tell you an example. If you go to any religious temple, mosque or church, you feel really good. You feel a sense of peace of mind. Why? Because they have created that environment. Here author says, same environment you create at home. And taking the example of a tea ceremony, you create at home, so you lead a peaceful and purposeful life, which we are forgetting in the rat race, what we are facing. Every time we are busy with our work, even now work from home also, we are most of the time busy, we are not able to concentrate in other things. Some people are not eating foods on right time, they're not taking care of the body, and they're paying hefty amounts to the doctors when they get into some diseases. So finally, if you have all these things, then you can have the tranquility, the peace, you have it. So if you experience the first three, then only you can have the Jaku. The Jaku is achieved when you have the other three. So in a nutshell, what I'll say that try to spend time on yourself. Generally what happened, we are so busy in achieving some materialistic stuff that we try to forget ourselves. So try to spend time on yourself. Try to have a peace of mind. Whatever mistakes you have done the whole day, spend half an hour at least, 30 minutes you can spend. Half an hour at least with yourself, with a cup of tea or cup of coffee, or talk to someone in your family. You tell you are having this problem, you discuss this, you will find some solution. And other person, that will again be a mutual respect. Sometimes what happens, we don't share each other, and we don't like some of the imperfection of the other person. If we share each other, or we'll try to respect each other's imperfection, and over a cup of tea or a coffee, and we'll grow together, and a harmonious environment will be created automatically. So this is a day-to-day practice. This is not a tea ceremony in Japan, or a tea tradition in India, or some parties anywhere in the world. It's needs to be inculcated in everyone to bring it up. We have no doubt, we have a lot of negativities people. You need to be positive in some scenario. And one day I can assure you, you can win that negative person if you go through all the principles what the author has stated in this article.
True, Mr. Mahato. And to summarize the article, the author clearly states that focus on understanding that life is not permanent. Everything in this world is impermanent. Anything which has life has to perish. That which perishes comes back. So appreciate whatever you've got in the time that you've got. Just don't wait for it to be too late, because once it is too late, there's nothing that we can do there. So as we go further talking about Dilip sir, he is a master in mind mapping, also visual mapping. He has written several books which are considered as syllabus in many of the educational institutions. He has also written professional books for development of a person and organizations. You can find them on Amazon, and they're all through pre-order. So I would definitely urge the audience to check out Dilip sir's work, not only on the articles on LinkedIn, follow him on LinkedIn with the same name, Mr. Dilip Mukherjee, CEO, Brain Dancing International. But get your copies of sir's books and enhance your knowledge. Thank you so much, Mr. Mahato. This was really an in-depth discussion, I guess. It was too very deep.
Yeah, really. We started with the tea ceremony, which we already have at home. So the author has rightly brought something which everybody can relate among themselves. When you go out with your friends, you have a tea, coffee together, the snacks. Tea is very common with everybody, every household in India. So you can relate to that. There is a deep meaning in the tea ceremony. You have tea ceremony every day at home, but we don't have time for that. So it is the right time. We start our tea ceremony at home. Thank you, Archana, once again for inviting me for the Brain Tunes with Archana.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mahato, for gracing this show again. Looking forward to meeting you again in yet another episode of Brain Tunes with Archana in collaboration with Radio Brain Rhymes. Have a lovely day.
Yeah, you too. Have a lovely day.